Hi, welcome to Real Talk for Real Estate. I'm Christine Kersen.
And I'm Kenzie Brock.
Today we are going to talk about short-term rentals. We've kind of discussed this a little bit in the past. We talked about some of the different regulations that different counties or cities have on short-term rentals. And now we're going to talk about more of the investment side, kind of what to look for. So Kenzie's going to start us out.
So we kind of have a step-by-step process. So we did find something, talking about step one, choosing the right location. They always say location, location, location. And that definitely goes for short-term rentals too. So you want to find something that's in an area where you get a lot of tourists. For Montrose, we have the San Juan Mountains and reservoirs, Black Canyon.
Yeah.
We have a lot of places that people enjoy going to. And, we're also in the middle of a lot of big areas too. We have Uray and Ridgeway and stuff like that. So you definitely want to find a place that's, going to bring people to you. Another one would be like the hospital. So, you might have a traveling nurse or, something like that.
So you would want something downtown where they can walk and walk to the different restaurants. So, you really have to consider what are you looking to get out of it and who's going to be your best client, who your client's going to be.
Right.
So, and with that in mind, then you can start narrowing down locations.
And again, remember, it's something you're purchasing. So it could be something that, you want to make sure you'll be using too. If you'll be in the area or, whatever it may be, it's going to end up being your home in the long run.
Exactly. Because you should enjoy it too.
Yes.
The second thing is working out the regulations. So as we did before in our last Real Talk about Airbnbs, every city and county has different regulations. So it is super important you figure out what those are because they could involve extra fees. First of all, most areas do require for you to at least pay local sales tax. So that's something that you have to account for when purchasing an investment property. So you have to know what the rules are. So that is definitely something you got to check into.
Do your homework.
Yes, yes.
Step three is kind of finding the perfect property. So, there's so many single family condos, townhomes. The nice thing with either a condo or a townhome is sometimes, the lawn is taken care of. That might be something nice for you so that you're not worrying about that. If you're not in the area, and you don't have to worry about the tenants, not taking care of it or you having to do it. So that's always nice. Once you definitely find that location, finding the perfect property.
Yeah, and condos are going to have probably a little less upkeep than a single family home. And yes, like the yards is a big one, snow plowing is a big one. So, these are all things that are going to cost you money. So you have to consider it and, what kind of property would work best for you. If you plan on using it also as a vacation home, then, you need to think where would your family be happy when you go stay in it.
Exactly.
So, and then the next step would be accounting for all rental expenses. So, obviously you're going to have taxes to pay, property taxes. You may have hotel lodging taxes. Uray charges 3.5% for their lodging tax, and that's based on per night. Insurance, you have home owners insurance, as well as you might have a separate liability policy for your Airbnb. HOA fees, so if you are in a subdivision, that charges fees, then you have to account for those also. Utilities, management fees, most property managers charge about 25 to 30%. If you are local, you could probably do it yourself if you have the time to, spend to clean it and have someone to help do the maintenance with it. And then rental income tax. So, you definitely need a good grasp of how much your property is going to rent for. It's a great source to go on, like Airbnb, and look at the other homes. How much are they getting a night? How full is their calendar? You have to account for times where it's slower. I have an Airbnb in Uray, and spring and fall, I have to have enough money to get me through those seasons because they slow down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into our next step is calculating rental yield and returns. You want to make sure that this investment that you're going to make is going to have good cash flow and a good return, because you are going to have times where you don't have anyone renting it and you need to make those payments and whatnot when there's nobody in there.
Exactly.
So, you definitely, again, want to do your homework on that and kind of collect the data you need to make sure your location's good and, you're going to have
And you're
the
not
renters.
always going to make money. So if you're looking at it as an investment type that you want to get, then yes, you need to make sure you are going to get a good return.
Right.
If you're looking at it for, well, I would love to own a property here and I can go stay there and it'll help me pay for it, then, you can look into, something that can at least try to carry itself. It might not make you a ton of money, but it might be a great way to have a second home that you can enjoy without pulling too much money out of your pocket.
Have someone else kind of help you pay it down.
Exactly. So yes, my best advice is definitely to get onto these different Airbnb, VRBO sites, look at other homes in the areas you're thinking about to get a good idea of investment. Definitely contact your real estate professional to also help you figure out where you want to spend the money and figure out what the best return on your investment would be. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Make sure you stay tuned Friday for our virtual open houses. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the real estate store.
Thank you.